Hey guys, Dr. Prometheus here, back with some more of our Wrexham Road to the League. Our ladder safe here. We got promoted last season out of Skybet League 2. We are now in Skybet League 1. We had to retool the roster. I wasn't sure how that was going to go a little bit, and so I did a lot of it off and going to do some posts from there. My packages, but yeah, the posts from there. So without further ado, let's get right into this. We're probably not going to play any games today, so get right into it and kind of go through the transfer. What is a transfer special? I can remember. Here we go. So a little bit unorganized here. It's all good. So let's start with where the board has us. Board, grow the reputation of the club. They're liking we're still increasing that, so that's nice. That reputation is 2.5 stars. So we were only 2 stars. We are national now instead of regional. So we are a national talent. We want England. Everyone likes to see us. Work within payroll budget. We are well within that. Maximum 1-year contract for age over 34. There's no one really on the team that's of 34. I think the closest one is Ali Palmer, who's 32. Our mission for, or what our current season plan is from the board: attempt to avoid relegation from Skybet League 1. So they believe we're going to be in a relegation battle. I honestly think we'll finish mid-table, but we'll kind of see how that goes. Be competitive in the FA Cup. Be competitive in the Carabao Cup. Reach at least the knockout stages of the Papa John's Trophy. And then we did have a thing for training facilities to actually be completed. We queued it up. There's a couple of promises that we made wanted that. So as of right now, we're getting our training facilities up to, I think, a 3.5. It'll be done in a couple months. Estimated value is 14.5 million. We have a lot of money in the bank, mostly because Ryan Reynolds gave us like $4 million, but also I guess he made a new movie. It's funny because yeah, it's hilarious. And then we played a lot of friendlies to actually get us back up to this 2.3 million. So owners love the club. I love the club. Seating capacities here, we're not going to be bumping that up. I think we're only hitting a little bit under 12.5. I think even in the friendlies, let's see, we weren't hitting 12. So we still have some room in that. Yeah, we're not even hitting 12 right now. So we still have some room in that. We can do an expansion capacity up to 28,000. So that is what the board has. What our board requests were, nothing crazy, just improved training facilities. We had a couple courses. We're playing good attacking soccer, but they don't like how we're playing non-direct and counter-attacking, which I think they like how we're playing gegenpress and the goals that come with it. They don't like that we're not playing counter-attacking, so it's kind of a double-edged sword. We're up to 52.7 thousand social media followers. Our season ticket holders are about 7,500. We sold probably about 8,200, so a little bit more than half of our capacity is season ticket holders. But the supporters won't play entertaining soccer. We've been doing that the entire time. Develop players using the club youth system. We're doing that. Get the better of our rivals, Chester, if we happen to play against them. We do have that. Play defensively solid. Play direct. Play counterattacking. Forge a higher reputation than Shrewsbury, who is in Skybet League 1 with us. And then attempt to avoid relegation. One thing we did have is we had a couple of actual rivals drop off. Tranmere dropped off, and then was it Chesterfield was the other one? Dropped off as well because they are lower. Ali Palmer here, one of the favorite guys on the club. We haven't really asked him what he wants to do, but I mean, he is definitely a good head of youth development. I think having him take that would be awesome. Ollie Palmer staying with us for the long haul, but we'll kind of see what he does when he retires. For the payroll and the budget, we're just about 1.2 million under our payroll, so we're paying just about what we did last season, give or take, which is nice. So we should be about where we were, and we should actually make more money to get some of these upgrades for the club. So I know we had that. Let's pop into the transfers. One we're getting in right now is Alex Valle, come over from Barcelona B, wants to come over and play that left defensive spot for us, a left wing back. I think this is where we actually start investing in the players that'll stay and go up instead of loans. We had to take a couple of key loans in a couple places because we want to play more of a defensive midfield than a center mid, so we had to do that. Valley comes in, though, play defense. On the flip side, the transfers that we did make, look at him. We got Rainer in for about 850,000 from Watford. He's going to play on the right side while he's learning the left side, and then he will be like Mather, a guy that can come in, play some inverted winger, but also some inside forward, and we'll kind of play him all around. I think he could be a guy, while doesn't have a lot of growth potential, the fact is dribbling, touching, and first touches up here, I think he has the ability to make some impacts, and then we turn around and sell him for more than we actually bought him. So that was a good one. Michael Rozek coming in from Arsenal for free, a youngster. He's going to be learning that defensive midfield spot, and we'll see what his first touch gives us. The Wrexham under 21s, I think we will have him at the first team sooner rather than later as the season goes on. We had Graham Burke come in from Shamrock Rovers for £400,000 coming in, and we just need a fringe guy that can play all top, just left and right side. Although his foot on the right side is weak, we need to bring him in just for some depth purposes, and for 182,000 a year, that's not too bad for a guy that is 30 years old and will likely just pop in if we have any injuries. Tashin Oakley Booth from Stoke. This one was one we had to actually go in with Stoke. They wanted us to pay more for a loan than it was to buy the guy. So we decided to come in and buy him, and he is going to be playing a defensive midfield, playing that deep lying playmaker. Has a decent work rate. We're going to work with him to try to get his defensive positioning up as a defensive midfielder. He's consistent. He can fit in with the team well. He's a leading Sky Bet League One central midfielder in the future. So while he's not going to be a championship level, so he's not going to be a tier higher, I think we can turn around and what do we pay for him? We only played a couple hundred, so yeah. We'll end up paying about 400K for him, and we could probably turn him for more as he plays and gets better. But I think he's going to be a great spot for a deep line playmaker, playing it defensively. Another one we brought in, Bevis Mugabai, a free transfer. Bring him in. He's going to be a guy that pops in and out on the defense, playing whatever position we need him to play. Right now he's going to be playing that center position, and we'll might bounce him around to the outside on both sides. We need to bring in both a cheap but also a guy that can play multiple positions in the defense, that could start, that will likely start. And so it's not a panic buy, but is it really a panic buy? Dylan Burry, you kind of saw him a lot from coming in from Norwich. We brought him in as a backup keeper. And the other one from Leicester, Sammy Baybrook, we brought in on loan. We only get him, I think. We get him the entire season. We have one other loan that we only get until not the entire season, but until January. And then we have to figure out what to do at that spot. But he's going to be our Segundo Volante. We're going to be a man of culture. And he is going to be the Segundo Volante. He'll be trading off that position with Jordan Davies. We'll see how we work with that. And I think he's potentially a Premier Division standard, playing at Skybet League 1 standard. If we don't get promoted, which I don't think it's going to be possible this year one, but you never know. You never know what could happen with it. So, quite honestly, you might have a situation where that's possible. Sorry if I seem a bit dark. I gotta get a light in front of me, that whole thing. Get a better camera, but hey, happens. So, Sammy Baybrook, be a good one. I don't think we don't keep him longer than this year, but it would be nice. And then the other one, Carol Figueroa, we brought in free, some youngsters. The Honduran sub Ferdinand, another guy from Arsenal. No one was picking up these guys, so I thought I could maybe pick them up for free. This one's from Liverpool, has some Olympic games, so he does have a couple caps. So I was thinking to myself, we could bring these guys in and just turn and burn from there and get some cash from this, which kind of what I wanted to do. Not guys that I see are big contributors. Maybe Sub Ferdinand can be. It's doubtful, but maybe. And Cairo Figueroa, he's got the speed though, which is really intriguing. We're trying to get him a complete forward, and we'll kind of see exactly what it ends up being. But this could be something wild from him. I'm not sure. The guy's a speedster at the least. We made some money. So that's the biggest thing. Then going in for the transfers out. So Dan Davies goes on loan to Gateshead, and Jaden Williams goes out to Harrogate on loan. James Jones is out to Inverness CT for about 14,000. He didn't want to play for us anymore, but also I want to get like height-wise taller in midfield. So he moves on to Inverness CT. We did get, although it was only a 14K, we then got them to play a game, a friendly with us, and that friendly netted us about 150. So his transfer isn't really 14K. It's probably around 200. So with the tickets sold, Matty Longstaff leaves to Chesterfield for 325,000. And that's another thing. I just wanted to get higher and taller in midfield. And then Dietmar Mitov goes to Iberian. Not for a lot of money, I don't think. Yeah, 250. But I think at this point, he wanted actual playing time. He was going to be unhappy. I didn't like that he wasn't as consistent. We have Maxwell in, and we brought in Barry. So Maxwell will be the starter until Barry kind of gets up to stuff with that. So what we'll do is Barry will play the cup games, Maxwell will play the league games, and we'll kind of switch from there. Continuing to who's going out, Ben Tozer leaves over to Notts County for 3K. The biggest thing was his salary was insane. He agrees to a more reasonable salary, though, for Notts County. And then he is put in the under 18s. I guess he's more of a coach now. Charlie Allen and Jimmy Gower go on loan. Allen to Solihull Moors and Gower to Port Vale. We have Jacob Mindy out to Farrell for 20K. And then we have some more loans with Sam Unrin, Brian Raw, Ryan Austin, Louis Evans, and Max Cleworth. So that's all of our transfers in and out. So what does that mean for the formation? What that means here is, well, this is what we're going with. We're going to start with, of course, the pair up top, Mullen and Palmer. We're going to start with that. If we need to adjust, we will, with an attacking midfielder where Mullen will be on the outside. And then we'll have Mather play this position, the attacking mid, center attacking mid. But we're going to start out with our two up top, which is technically our 4-2-2-2. It's weird, I know. Rayner's going to be starting on the right side. He is training for the left, so he will get better on the left. Mather will be the inverted winger on the left side. Rayner's obviously the inside forward on the right side. It makes me nervous that all this space is here, but I think we'll be all right as everyone gets up to par in playing in this formation. Ray Book at Segundo Volante. Oakley Booth here at Deep Line Playmaker. Oliver is going to be this inverted wing back on the left side. Magba will be in the center with Scar in beige. I think what I'm ultimately going to do, though, for our outside is Magba can play on the outside. And he has just about as much. We don't want them to kind of collide. So this is what we're going to go here. Owalu's going to come in. He's going to play. Who did he play mostly last year? He played left mostly last year? He did play left mostly last year. You know what? Let's have him play left, and if it kind of goes bad, then we'll kind of switch him around. Once we get Valley in, we'll probably have a change where Oliver will come in towards the middle, and then Magabe becomes our super sub in defense, playing all along the defense, which I want to see. Of course, we got Scar still here, and we were able to retain Beige, but this was a massive guarantee for them. We had to say we had an optional bid for 13 to 20 million for them to even say yes. Obviously, we cannot afford that. We never will be able to afford that. In exchange, we only got him until Christmas. Maybe depending on how we're doing, if we're doing great in the table, then maybe Liverpool allows us to have him for the remainder of the season, but we'll kind of see how it goes. With Alex Valley coming in, maybe Magba switches all the way over on the right side. He has a strong right foot. He shifts all the way over to the right. Oliver comes over in the middle, and Valley plays on the left. So maybe that is the key from there. On the bench, Sam Dalby, of course, still here. Elliot Lee, our forward and wing subs. Jordan Davies, sub for both the defensive and the wing spots. O'Connor can actually play this wing position. We haven't really trained it. I noticed he was accomplished. He was actually, what is this? He was like unconvincing. And we went ahead this preseason and actually got him up to accomplished on that. So we have an extra bit with O'Connor that can play defense if he needs to. Otherwise, link from here. And I know we need to get him up. Let's get him attacking. Let's get him learning this position up here now with that. But he's our sub in the midfield wing. He can play all over the place. So in case we have injury and we can't all do that, it's there. Jason Thorne, obviously being a guy on the left side, he's going to be our first sub out on the wingers. He's been playing great on the left side. Lasana coming in, another super sub in the defense until we get Valley in. But Hosanna is also has a trend to play up as well on the right side, just not so much on the left. He can go up and play where Rayner is. And then Burke, well, is learning this defensive midfield spot. His tackling is not the greatest, but I think with him being able to play anything up top, that makes him more versatile. Dylan Berry, Hayden is injured right now. Maybe Hayden comes in, maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure what we're going to do with Aaron Hayden, so we'll see. Ino Kwamina is in here. A lot of teams want him on loan. He's not going to go on loan. He's going to be playing under 21s, but also learning at this defensive midfield spot as well. I do like his his speed. We'll get his work rate up, his passing, and we'll see what he can do long term there. McDonald, John Murphy, Ethan Hall. He came back late last season. He does have some injury issues, but it seems like we've been able to rehab and work that out. So now, just has to be better. He can play up at the top. So only on the right side. We have him playing at the under 21s as well. Harris, trying to train him to play the defensive midfield spot as well. Can play all the way up through the middle and on the right side. He has a weak left foot. That's why he can't play on the left. And the wild card of the first team, Jalen Wildboar. So we brought him in from Boston United. We saw him. Actually, no, we brought him in from Fulham, actually. After they were relegated down, we saw him. He didn't want to play for Fulham. So we brought him in off a free because he didn't want to sign that contract. And then we loaned him to Boston United for a couple of seasons. He got them promoted, or at least helped get them promoted up to the Vanarama National League. So congrats to him, having some success. And because of it, he's going to be a little wild card here at the top. And why is a wild card? While he is inconsistent and needs some more work, he is also cheap, and I think he could actually do with some mentorship at this level. For our under 21s, not a lot out on loan. This is how we're going to be looking at it for right now. I think we have enough for... Yes, we do. We have enough that we have subs and whatnot for them. Our under 18s are a little bit lacking, though. We might need to pull some guys back over to the under 18s. We need to, but I'll see how that goes in the future. So I'm pretty happy with what we have here. And, well, our under 21s is a very strong developmental squad, and then our under 18s are a very strong developmental squad as well. So we could be making some money in the future, which is what we wanted to see. So it's pretty good. So that's how we'll play there. Let's look at Skybet League 1 as a whole, and let's see who got promoted and relegated. So Bristol City and Wigan were relegated from the championship, so they're down here. Bristol City is slated to be 1, and Wigan is slated to be finish 7th in this. We are down at 13th, so mid-table. They expect the media expects us to. The other relegation was Wycombe. Seems like they've had a lot of players leave, so they're slated to be down in 19th. Maybe they got promoted last season and just couldn't stay up. Who else got promoted with us? Well, Swindon and Forest Green. I think Forest Green had the finish last season in 5th, so they won the playoff. Forest Green Rovers did. Leyton Orient was the other one, I believe, that had a top 3 finish. They finished 3. So yeah, that's how it kind of sorted out. We took 1, Swindon took 2, Leyton Orient took 3, and Forest Green won the playoff. Hilariously enough, well, I think it's looking like there's 4. They say 2 out of the 4 teams, including us, who were promoted, Forest Green, Leyton Orient, should be demoted, back down and relegated. Okay. A little nervous there for Swindon, but we'll see how it is there. Let's look at some of the other previews. Don't like a Media Dream 11. Here we go. Here's the Media Dream 11. We have no one in the Media Dream 11. I don't think we could attract anyone Intermediate Dream 11 because we're not established at this level. Wigan, who was relegated, has the best. Well, of course, Wigan and Bristol will have the best players in. After that's Oxford. Let's just see who gets relegated down. Our first one is looking through. It's Baybrook, who we have in on loan, which is not good. Beige, who is in on loan, not good. And we have no one else in the key players in the list on the right. So we're going to have to win this as a team. That's how it's going to have to be. We're going to have to win it as a team. And there's nothing more you can say about that. That's just what it has to be. Maybe Christmas we make some more moves. I don't know. We have the cash to do it. We have about 2 million. So we certainly do have the cash. We'll see how this goes from there. So here's our obviously fight Bradley gets relegation, be competitive, and reach second round. We drew Preston North End in the Carabao Cup. So that is the second game of the season. With that, obviously we don't know the FA Cup, and we have drawn the Papa John's Trophy. We drew Morecambe, who's at Skybet League 2. So I believe they were Skybet League 1. So they were actually relegated down Skybet League 1. So that's actually a team that has likely Skybet League 1 talent on it. Wigan, who was at the championship, now down to our level. So again, higher talent. And Newcastle under 21s. So do we have a death group? No. Could we have potentially had a death group? Yes. The issue is, I'm not sure where the death group actually is. If I had to guess, it would probably be Bristol. What's Bristol Rovers at? Skybet League 1. But honestly, I think we might have the death group. I think we do. Yep. We have the death group. That sucks. That sucks hard. Okay. So we're gonna have to fight over this. It's not gonna be easy. What do we start with though? We start with Oxford on the season, then Preston North End, and then we kind of go through that with Wigan being our first pizza trophy game here in September. So that'll be the transfer special. Nothing really crazy did happen. I will show you the sponsors. We got a lot of money for the sponsors, which gave us about 6 million, and in the influx of everything. We didn't have any big debt. We did have some transfer debt we had to bring over from last season. That was actually fixed mostly by Reynolds. And that, here's our salary, our surplus. We are well within that. And then our salary, we're pretty much fine for the most part. So there's that. Looking at our complete salary, we have more important players than we do stars. And well, we have all of these besides the regular starters, which I think we did put actually someone down to a regular starter as opposed to an important player. So we are within budget. One of our fringe players, our one fringe player is being paid $182,000, but that is a fringe player that wanted to agree to about a squad player, but we got him to accept a fringe player, which was nice. Pretty good on breakthrough prospects, pretty good on future prospects. Like a couple. on that. The average is 23. And then youngsters, the average is 9. We have a couple of youngsters that are higher that are going to pay us that we ended up paying some higher dollar. And then our our cup goalkeeper is obviously well within that, and we're pretty much good from there. So a total of 4.3. So I'm happy. If we're promoted, our salary will stay about the same. If we are relegated, our salary will go down just a little bit, but I think we'd still be able to afford it either way, if that. Oh, this is our actual salary. So that's right. We'll lose players because we have a couple of relegation clauses with that. Obviously, the code of conduct, all that stuff. And that is the finances. We are holding strong with that. So I'm pretty happy. In the next episode, what we will do is we will play. Look for the calendar. We will play Oxford to start the season. Preston North End. And I think we will have a 3 episode or a 3-game episode from there. And we'll play MK Dons, I think, with that one. And then we'll hop into September immediately after. So we kind of went fast in the Skybet League 2. Let's go back to the cam. So we went a little fast in Skybet League 2. And that is mostly because we knew what we had on the roster and a lot of our talent was better than Skybet League 2. What I'm thinking is this one we go a little bit slower in this, and it's really about the championship, like trying to vie for promotion, and that's where we actually will slow it down more if we're vying for promotion. And then when we get into the championship league, we're at tier 2 in England, we start slugging it out with potential Premier League talent, and from there we'll slow it down a bit further to see it. So that'll be it for this episode. If you want to look over here, you'll see the live stream channel. Go check that out. Slowly but surely getting up everything for Blob Icelands. But thanks for hanging out. Go and leave a like below, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Later.